here for the conference? Yes. What's your last name?
Visitors came from across the country for a conference where the only color that really matters is white.
So he had to have a white card too? He said, I want to make sure I get in. I just want to make sure I got white socks. I got my whole seersucker. Hey, we going white down for this one. I am here for the racism. The conference, all 3 days. Yes. Full of hate. That's all I got in the car. If you can go look in the trunk. Ain't nothing but more hate in there. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and this is Racist of the Week, where we expose the stupidity and hypocrisy of discrimination in hopes we can build a more perfect union. And also laugh. As usual, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Racism. And of course, if you have any nominees, you can drop them in the comments. You can email me at admin@reesewaters.com. Well, 2025 was quite a banner year for racism now, wasn't it?
Use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist?
Correct.
I can't tell.
That's a child. Exactly, because she's black. That's a child.
You know what?
That's a child. No, don't you walk too free because you're going to get in trouble. She's a child.
I'm not getting in trouble. You don't do that. Maybe you do it over there in Zaire, but you don't do it here.
I am racist.
So idiot, for
And
real.
you are an
Jesus Christ is God, and there is no other God. He is part of the Holy Trinity, and any other God is a demon, and it's false. How can you represent the constituents of Ohio who are 64% Christian if you are not a part of that faith?
In a way, I'm done with all the Uncle Toms. I'm done with Jason Whitlock. I'm done with Candace Owens. I'm done with all the Uncle Tom token blacks. Like, you're not that smart. You're not even that conservative.
Oh, them leopards eating good, ain't they? Look at all them fat leopards from coast to coast. Here we got Joe Molino. Can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the aesthetic. And boom, they're dead. We get Alex Dwyer with a nice little 1488, which is shorthand for Heil. And Trump's too busy burning the Epstein files. Here we got William Hendricks, who is a lover of ends and not in the good way. Who also like to say, would he like some watermelon and Kool-Aid with that?
Always coming up with, no, it's not the Jews. No, it's not women. No, it's not blacks. It's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all. Jews are running society. Women need to shut the fuck up. Blacks need to be imprisoned for the most part. And we would live in paradise. It's that simple. It's literally...
Shut your stupid ass up. Say that, folks.
Oh, that must be that new racism.
I can honestly say that, okay, I'm not systemically racist, I'm a new racist.
Huh. And she felt the freedom to say all that I wonder what empowered them. What gave them the confidence to be so bold?
Racist, please. He might not even be here. Trump's in now, remember?
Ah, yes. Well, he'll certainly never beat those allegations now. Yes, they do feel so emboldened and so empowered, so much so that they had a whole racism conference. I know. I can only imagine how unseasoned them lunches about to be. You know what I mean? Who catered that? Oh, it was Paula Deen? That makes sense. But the existence of the conference itself actually frustrated me because I was trying to book the same venue for the Racist of the Year awards.
On this Monday, we're getting brand new insight about the guest list for an annual hate conference at a state park right here in Middle Tennessee. And we've now discovered it includes people
in Congress. I got a couple names. People on YouTube, on social media. Never mind. I'll let you finish. Go ahead. You got it. Hey, It's a couple people work at that Chick-fil-A down the street I would like to nominate.
Who have celebrated political violence. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston. Carrie is off. The American Renaissance Conference has been coming to the area since 2012, yet not much has been known about the cast of characters who attend. That is until now. News Channel 5 Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams was there 3 weeks ago when the conference returned to Montgomery Bell State Park in Dixon County. Phil is with us now, and I know you've been working hard to figure out who you were actually seeing come into that place, right?
Now, he did say returned. And in fact, we are returning here on this channel. We covered them the last time they had their whole racism festivities.
Here at Montgomery Bell State Park, the tranquility of a fall afternoon was interrupted by the sounds of protest.
No Nazis, no KKK, no fascist USA.
By a small group of anti-fascists upset over the return of the white supremacist American Renaissance Conference.
And if anybody would show up again to a place where they were received like that, it would be racist. It's something masochistic about them. You know what I mean? That's like coming back to the Apollo after the Sandman dragged you off. Like, why would you do that? I got booed off stage at Bowie State University in 2007, and I ain't been to Bowie since. Nope. I don't go to the movie theater or nothing.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
If you are not here to celebrate and lift up love, what are you doing here? Why would you promote hate?
Among the changing colors of the season,
Here for the conference? Yes, what's your last name?
visitors came from across the country for a conference where the only color that really matters is white.
So he had to have a white car too? He said, I want to make sure I get in. I just want to make sure I got white socks. I got my whole seersucker. Hey, we going white down for this one. And look, I can't say that I've had the most pride to check in everywhere whose doors I have darkened. But coming in and checking in and giving, yes, I am here for the racism. The conference, all 3 days, yes. Full of hate. That's all I got in the car. You can go look in the trunk. Ain't nothing but more hate in there.
Oh, man. Hate.
Because there are 200 or 300 people in that building over there that believe only they belong in this country.
Here at Tennessee's Montgomery Bell State Park, protesters were kept far from attendees at the American Renaissance Conference, an event that, as the protesters see it, represents the worst of the world of hate.
And we want our message of tolerance and acceptance to stand in stark contrast to what they're advocating for in there.
Now, I just wanted to point out the fact that my man has a sign with a Yahtzee symbol and a line through it. And can we sit with the fact that in the year of our Lord, 2025, that's something that's needed? Can we sit with that? That's something that, thanks, Black MAGA. Now your eyes are open. You should probably attend. I'm surprised y'all didn't get the mailers.
Exactly what they advocate inside the park's lodge is a closely guarded secret, as is the guest list, which is what led us to stake out the security checkpoint, standing in a public spot in a public park, where we found some attendees desperate to hide from our cameras. For this woman, it was an effort that required both hands.
What? That's crazy. So you mean white supremacists that feel the need to hide their faces? I never seen that before. That's crazy. Well, you know what's interesting? What is really so fascinating about that is the lack of pride and accountability for views that you espouse, not just from the comfort of your own home. You got up, put on day clothes, printed out some MapQuest directions, because I know you operating out of the 90s, and drove all the way down to the racism fest in Tennessee. If you taking all them steps, the least you can do is stand on it.
Standing on business, we standing on business.
It's my understanding that you have been providing these pictures to people in the past years.
And this man, a longtime American Renaissance speaker and attorney who has represented the Klan and other hate groups, accused us of working with domestic terrorists. So when he stopped to take pictures, I decided to confront his questions directly. Did you have any questions for me?
Well, I'd be happy to ask you. Y'all are with Channel 5?
I am with Channel 5. I'm Phil Williams.
Hi, I'm Sam Dixon. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Sam.
The reason is we have reason to be concerned about how we've had a lot of people come back with a group called Antifa, and they have tried to prevent us from having our meetings.
Oh, I know about Antifa. I know about Antifa. They be under the bed. They be in the closet. Antifa stole my car. They did. And they graffitied my garage. I did good on the insurance claim though. You know what I mean? You just put Antifa down there, they give you your money back. You should try it.
Back at the checkpoint, we saw some familiar faces.
Hello, Thomas. How are you, sir?
That's Thomas Rousseau. He's the leader of the Patriot Front, the white nationalist group known for its flash mob protests, as well as its training of young men for battle. They want an America that's for whites only.
Where's his U-Haul? They don't let you in the U-Haul no more? Oh, that's sad. No, I remember him. No, I remember the sad protest that they gave. I believe that might have also been in Tennessee. Yeah, and that speech with, tomato. Yeah, I remember that.
And this is Eric Orwell, the Arkansas man who heads Return to the Land, the group that wants to build a whites-only community in Tennessee. Recently posted photos show Patriot Front showed up at Orwell's compound in Arkansas to help with building projects there. That despite what seemed like his efforts to distance himself from the group when we talked a few weeks back. When we did the Zoom interview, you expressed some ambivalence. But then they came to your place and did some work.
No, I'm all for helping them and them helping us. I do have some personal ideological disagreements, but they're relatively minor.
So whereas they will rank the Jews and the blacks and the gays in terms of level of opposition and our unwillingness for their right to live, they will choose directly. We do a ranked choice system. We do ranked choice, and that helps prevent people from stealing votes when it comes to who is the primary ops of our white supremacy. So, you know what I mean? They kind of, they're a little archaic in the way that they do it.
Hi, you running for governor? Yes. All right, what's your name? Greg Johnson.
Then there's Greg Johnson, the man in the passenger seat who, as you can see, was none too happy to see our cameras. One of the speakers at the conference, Johnson is author of the White Nationalist Manifesto. After a mass murder committed by neo-Nazi Anders Breivik in 2011, first killing 8 people with a van bomb, followed by the massacre of 69 people at a Norwegian youth camp, Greg Johnson wrote of his, quote, strange new respect for the killer, who he argued was engaged in resistance to genocide. Although Johnson said it would have been better if he had killed the actual leadership of Norway's Labour Party or the leaders of the Norwegian press instead of innocent children. Breivik, he wrote, simply chose the wrong targets for his killing spree.
So let me get this straight. The guy who wrote a book and was gassed came on the wings of an atrocity that took the lives of children, put his whole name on it and called it the White Nationalist Manifesto. The guy who did all of that is ashamed to show his face when he goes into the racism conference in Tennessee in 2025. You know, it don't seem like the movement is growing. You know what I mean? It feels like your members are more bold and more vocal, but if this much time has passed and you sitting here acting like you just saw your wife when you pull up with your mistress and you wrote a whole book talking about how you move, it's not good. That's not good. I don't think you're going to sell many of those in there.
Back at the protest,
does it surprise you that you have someone like Greg Johnson who, defends mass shooters?
It doesn't surprise me. Like I said, it is the worst of the worst.
Then there was Johnson's companion, David Zuddy. He has defended the neo-Nazi who drove into a crowd of protesters in Charlottesville, killing 32-year-old Heather Heyer. The killer was convicted of first-degree murder. Yet David Zuddy tweeted, quote, James Fields is a hero who did nothing wrong. And, quote, Charlottesville made me realize that many liberals aren't fully human, along with the true extent of Jewish media control.
Now, let's just jump in right here, because I made the point when I was talking about the Cinnabon grift, the woman who admitted that she was racist, and the point that I followed with was, once you see that you're racist, none of your thoughts or ideologies are significant after that. I'm racist. Let me tell you why John Stockton was the greatest point guard of all time. Like, it don't mean nothing after you tell me that you are racist. And here we have a gentleman that went so far as to say, I believe that some liberals are not fully human, yada, yada, yada. Well, your justification of the man in Charlottesville, and I would expand beyond that and say, your group's widespread justification of these crimes and atrocities that have been committed in the name of white nationalism are really meaningless after you have seeded your racism and your white nationalist ideology. It's clear, based on your own words, that your defense begins and ends with the race of the perpetrator, and certainly is only inflamed by the race and identity of the victim. So if that's purely the lens that you're viewing things through, then why would you even make a case that John Stockton, the greatest point guard of all time, after you even told me you were racist? Like, you're wasting your time at that point. Let me tell you why he did nothing wrong. Because he white. That's all you saying. That is literally all you saying. And in fact, you weaken any actual defense he may have when you try and make the case in that way. Well, I got a question for you, Mr. Open Mind. Are you ready to admit that Tom Brady was the greatest football player of all time? Jim Brown. Ha! I knew it!
He has also defended those who assaulted Capitol Police on January 6th.
I bet he did. I bet not only did he defend the J6 defendants, he defended their ensuing crimes too, right? Just a guess.
We also spotted this man from Atlanta. His name is Jared Huggins, and he was once part of a neo-Nazi group called Identity Europa. Huggins was also in Charlottesville, according to hate researchers who uncovered this Facebook post under a different last name where he called the weekend, quote, effing metal, and this Twitter post where he celebrated the Dodge Challenger used in the murder.
But under a different name. But I got so much pride as my neighbor. Yeah, I got a lot of pride under his name.
Then there was a Pennsylvania man who heads a publishing house that reprints Nazi and other far-right books, and this young man from East Tennessee wearing a cap for the National Alliance. His name, we discovered, is Dylan Gaidano. National Alliance is a group originally founded by neo-Nazi William Pierce. Pierce's book, The Turner Diaries, helped inspire Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh. Social media accounts linked to Gaidano have expressed admiration for violent white supremacists Robert J. Matthews and Fraser Glenn Miller. One Telegram post stated, quote, for me at least, if our goals aren't met in my lifetime, I will pull a page out of Master Sergeant Fraser Glenn Miller's playbook. Fraser Glenn Miller shot and killed 3 members of a Kansas Jewish community in 2014 because he wanted to kill some Jews before he died.
Hey, yo, what the...
I got a question. So you gave him like a military rank. So he was actually in the military. He was actually in the military. What was he doing in the military then? Paperwork? So then he just decided to go into a community center. I wonder if this is the kind of honor that Pete Hegseth be talking about. Is this kind of stuff? I bet. Did he say anything though?
Perhaps the best clue about what was happening inside comes from this man we spotted at the checkpoint. Emil Kosman is a Romanian-born pro-Russian podcaster who was invited to the conference to observe.
Right over there, they are videotaping us because somehow we are bad dudes.
This was Kosman we spotted outside the lodge.
Wait a minute. Oh, you had to tell me he was Romanian before you showed him with the selfie stick, right? You had just so y'all know, this ain't us. This ain't us with the selfie stick. Also gotta love you talking about the people videotaping you while you're videotaping with a selfie stick. You know what I mean? Hey, maybe they out there with the stick just trying to see how that works. You know what I mean? That could be it.
Later described the atmosphere inside the conference as one where it was anti-Semitism that really invigorated the crowd.
I think, yeah, the Jews are in control over there. These kind of things. A lot of people cheered. Oh, yeah, like, good job, man, telling us the truth.
The podcaster said the National Alliance had a table set up where it was selling its materials, but American Renaissance insisted that the Turner Diaries be kept under the table out of public view.
Guys, you know what the reason was? These guys are neo-Nazis. These are Nazis. That was the answer. They are Nazis. That's why we don't do it. It's a Nazi book.
So that's like the line. So that's the line apparently for the white supremacists. That's we gonna have the book here, but y'all gotta keep that up. That's too far. Apparently, you got a who's who of people that have amplified atrocities worldwide in attendance, but the book can't be on the table though. No, we can't. Don't disrespect us with that book on the table. I mean, there was a gentleman that had a whole protest sign against Yahtzees that was needed, but by all means, don't put the book on the table.
Hi, Phil Williams. That's a far different story from when I first met American Renaissance founder Jerry Taylor a year ago.
How about the neo-Nazis?
I don't even know a neo-Nazi.
But inside the conference this year,
he said, well, that, what was his expression? That promotes violence and terrorism. Do you know that?
Everybody we done met promotes violence. What? The level of self-awareness on the right wing is just crazy. Now, by the way, I do remember Jared Taylor and how that conversation went last year. Not so much. You think he's showing back up?
They would be perfectly happy to say, yes, you white people, you torment all of these non-whites. Of course, we do not.
But white people did.
Well, hold on. Why can't you let me finish?
You keep wanting to gloss over the history.
I'm not denying the history at all. What have I glossed over? Of course, there's been slavery, Jim Crow, segregation. I'm not denying any of that. Don't put words in my mouth.
What y'all think?
Kosman said Jerry Taylor privately insisted the group's Turner Diaries was a real problem.
Who's state? Our state! Who's state? Our state!
Which is why these protesters say what happens here inside this state park cannot be ignored.
And this group kind of represents the worst of the worst. And I wanted to at least be out here to say that that's not the America that I grew up with. That's not the America that I believe in.
I will split the difference with you. It's not the America that you believe in. I appreciate that. It's not the America that I believe in. I don't know if I can go as far as to say it's not the America I grew up with. Now, when it comes to the level of freedom that they enjoy in the public discourse and the boldness that has been bestowed upon them from up on high. That certainly is different, but I don't know that anything was instilled that didn't already exist.
Now, we've also identified other people at the conference, including, get this, a Lutheran pastor from Southeast Alabama who has connections to what has been described as a Neoconfederate group. And to be clear, not everyone there advocates violence, although it is also clear there are some, including some influential attendees, who refuse to reject it.
They got Neoconfederates now? So we got Yahtzees, we got neo-Yahtzees, we got Confederates, and now we got like, what is it? Are these the people that do the reenactments with modern guns? Like, what is this? They go to the Civil War reenactments and just wear regular clothes, like they in there in jeans and a t-shirt, trying to be Robert E. Lee. What is a Neo-Confederate? I gotta circle back on that one. But I appreciate you, Phil Williams, especially where you landed this, talking about not everybody espouses violence, but they refuse to condemn it. And man, if that isn't a group that continues to grow.
A lot of work put into this, Phil. Appreciate it. At the top of the newscast, we mentioned that this event has been held out at Montgomery Bell, since 2012?
Since 2012.
They have no plans, apparently, to move locations?
Yeah, I think that's the safe bet. In fact, in a write-up after the conference in a blog post, they wrote that American Renaissance is now an institution at the current location. So it seems they're determined to stay.
All right, Phil, thank you.
We are an institution. Just don't show me coming in there. Just don't you know what I mean? It's a tradition. This is our tradition. Like your anniversary with your mistress. Like, we come every year down here. We sneak in the back, just like we did the first time. That's what we do. When it comes to refusing to let it go, I need to applaud Phil Williams of News Channel 5. When it comes to allyship, the way that he has been on the helmet of these white supremacists in Tennessee has been amazing. And it's not something that has gone unnoticed from me. He was the one that hipped us to when the white supremacists and the Yahtzees got ran out of Tennessee earlier this year.
What is it you would like for these people coming in from out of state to know? What message would you have for these people?
This town is not for them.
Bigotry's not going.
No, it's not going to work.
Man, that's rough. I ain't seen a reception like that since Tennessee State, when they ran the MAGAs out of there.
MAGA supporters invaded our HBCU.
What is going on over here?
You called the East primitive for what? We created y'all knowledge. We created y'all science. We created y'all math. Y'all didn't do shit besides steal. Y'all didn't do anything to your...
I see you doing work, Tennessee. I see you doing work, Tennessee. No, hey, you like it. I love it. And while we're in the state, did we ever hear any more about that officer, J.D. Vance? Did J.D. Vance ever speak out on that? Breaking. Vice President J.D. Vance's motorcade was involved in a crash that sent a police officer to the hospital in critical condition, and the White House is silent. Vance hasn't even bothered to tweet him well wishes. More dishonest gaslighting. 2 vehicles providing support for the motorcade were involved in an accident. Not tweeting well wishes? Is that some lefty requirement? I wouldn't call it a lefty requirement. I would say that sending well wishes or a visit is a human requirement to show that you care. Well, we gonna stay on it. I'm gonna be on my Phil Williams. I'm gonna be on my Phil Williams right here. Shout out to him for once again airing each and every one of those gentlemen out, and shout out to News Channel 5 as well as everybody who showed up and showed out and gave them probably more of a reception than they deserve, honestly. I think the fact that there was opposition, they probably take as a badge of honor. But the fact that it looked like that, they can't feel good about it. Nope, nobody can feel good about that. But what you say? It's an institution. Yeah. Like a mental asylum. In that way, yes, it is an institution. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I wanted to share with you something that touched me. I got this email. Hi, Mr. Waters. I'd like to know if you have to be a member in order to buy merch. You better not be, because if so, I'm snitching. You know who you are.
I want to snitch. I want to tell. Whatever they call telling, snitching, I want to do it. And I want to make it cool to do it.
I'm a 66-year-old gal on a laughably low income and want to be a member, but feel bad about only sending $1.99. How can I help the channel? Now, I want to tell you how much gratitude I have for that $1.99, but I also want to tell you it's not needed. The most important thing you can do is to show the care and concern and love that it took to compose that email. There are plenty of things you can do that help the channel, like in sharing the videos. Also, sharing doesn't have to be online. How about word of mouth? You know, they say nobody likes a gossip, but I love a gossip. Go ahead and tell everybody far and wide about the channel. And the gossip don't have to be about the channel too. I like regular gossip. You can tell me anything about anybody. I'm interested.
Stop it. Get some help.
I might even turn it into a video. Plenty of you guys have sent me suggestions for topics that have turned into troubled waters, racist of the week, street politics, you name it. It helps the channel when you buy merch. Now, see, one of the things I do is my merch spreads faster than my word of mouth. Cause when I see people, like my chest hits first. So I got a whole front porch, so my chest hit them before any of my words can hit them. So that's why I like to wear my merch. That's why I do that. Becoming a member, hugely helpful to the channel. Attending the premieres. I premiere all of my videos and attendance helps boost it in the algorithm. Hugely helpful. And of course, if you have a particular set of skills and you have time and energy and you want to help the channel, of course, I'll put out the word. We're looking for editors. We're always looking for additional mods as well as research. And one of the other ways that you can help the channel, is by subscribing. I know a lot of you guys think you're subscribed. I see the truth. I see I can see it from here. I ain't want to say nothing. You know what I mean? I ain't want to say nothing, get in your business, but we can see that. You know, so you know what I mean? Just handle that. Handle that on your own time.
Mind your business, that's all. Mind your business.
Of course, dropping comments is always hugely helpful, and it picks me up. I just got a comment the other day from a grandmother in Australia. And getting your emails at admin@reesewaters.com. Like this one. Hey, Reese and Miss Ray, my merch came in. I'm so excited to send the pic, and a huge thank you to everyone who's involved in making it all happen. Proud to be a member of the RW community and family. Thank you and the amazing Mod Squad for all that you do. With love and appreciation, representing Boston, Bella Fine 747. And representing it very well, might I add. I appreciate it, Bella Fine. I haven't been this happy to hear from Boston. It's probably been since the Tea Party. They've been disappointing. They've gone by the wayside since the Tea Party. But this is a step in the right direction. I can tell you that right now.